Welcome to Trivia Club.
Hey, welcome listener to the final Deep Thoughts on SNL for season 39 of Saturday Night Live. My name's Rob Moden. I'm the host. Final of the season, maybe too. So, this is a big retrospective on the entire season. We got a bunch of people from the SNL Fantasy League in here to talk about it. Basically, it took the form of everyone came up with a list of their favorite sketches. I tried to get people to limit it to 5. It did not work, so that's why you see the running length of this podcast. We really just get into it, go through the highs, the lows, our favorites, our least favorites. It's a fun time. And then after that, there's not even really a news section. I'll mention in the episode that I kind of avoided a news section in the last episode, and then still no news came out. So, actually the one thing that broke since we recorded this episode, for about a solid day, Adam McKay, former SNL head writer, and then turned director of many Will Ferrell movies, Anchorman, Other Guys, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, was set to be the director for Marvel's Ant-Man with his frequent, or at least his Anchorman co-star Paul Rudd. And so that was apparently going to happen as of Friday, and then it didn't happen as of Saturday. He just dropped out. So that was crazy. But other than that, no real news in the SNL sphere, so all the more reason to talk about what we loved about this season. I just want to thank everybody who helped make this podcast possible. The people who are listening regularly. Russell Harder from the Toronto Trivia Club, who let this happen. Leah, Brian, Matt, who are my usual co-hosts. Saad and Kevin and Russell, who have stepped in many times. That's about it. Music underneath what you're listening to right now by Philip Kanopka, my friend, so thank him as always. And then, yeah, we might do some filler episodes over the summer. Let me know at Deep Thoughts SNL on Twitter if you have any ideas of what filler episodes we should do. Meanwhile, there will be some other podcasts showing up on the Trivia Club network feed that you can subscribe to get us and other podcasts. Yep. So if I don't hear from you, we will see you for season 40 in the fall. Bye, guys.
And now, Deep Thoughts.
We are recording. Do we want to go around and introduce everyone?
Surely.
All right. I don't know if the Skype order is going to be the same. So somebody say their name.
I'm Leah. Hello.
I'm Brian. Hello.
Conch. Saad. Conch out.
What up, Internet? Kevin here.
And I'm Rob. Yeah, that one actually surprisingly well.
Wait, where's Matt?
Oh, I was cutting out Matt on purpose.
Just talk to
Rob.
Oh.
Really? You respect your champion. Oh, here we go.
That's the first of many references to that you'll do.
All right, as champion, do you want to go through your list first?
Okay, so who has the shortest list? Because we should probably start with that.
I mean, I have 5 on my list, but I didn't really do much for it. I just went off the top of my head.
Go ahead, Leah.
Okay. So, my number 1 skit for the season, my favorite one, that was live anyway.
We're not going in reverse order?
I think you'd count down.
No, I just
she might
go
have different
straight
categories
for
of
it.
what she
No,
wants to
I
talk about.
don't.
Did Rick Dees not play a part in your life?
It's the only one that's not like a pre-recorded.
Ooh.
But it was by far my
nice.
favorite. Use Your Love with Josh Hutcherson.
Ah, yes.
I had that down too.
I scratched that one off.
That was my runner-up.
Just loved it.
I
It was
just want to
amazing.
use your love tonight. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't think any one of us didn't like that.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Excellent choice.
It was fine.
Now, was that one of the ones
Who's
that...
saying it was fine?
That was Matt.
It was fine.
You didn't love it? Matt.
I didn't love the Hutcherson episode as a whole as much as everybody else did.
You're
Wow.
wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm objectively wrong.
100 points.
Second place.
Or
Matt
47, whatever it loses enough.
Yep. I thought the Hutcherson episode was strong overall. First of all, this sketch...
I did too. It was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you, this was one of the better sketches of the night. But
with everyone popping up and singing, and wasn't there a line where 80 Bryant said, "We're going to a 1980s mall"?
Yeah.
That was Nassim who said that.
Well, as
80
covered,
had
we
the,
can't
"I'll send
tell
you
the
a
girls
text."
apart. We
Yeah.
can't tell the girls apart.
80 had the "I'll send you a text," and then chick I don't like with big teeth said,
Oh, jeez.
"What's that?" I can't
Vanessa
remember her
Bayer.
name. Vanessa Bayer.
oh my god, the chick with big teeth that I don't like?
Yeah.
Comment out,
Is that,
Vanessa.
is that too much? Sorry.
You've gone over the line.
I'm sorry. I crossed
What's your
the
number
line.
2?
My number 2 was the "Oh Child."
Oh, it's on my list.
Honorable mention.
Actually,
Yeah,
that was
so I
live
was-
too, wasn't it? That
No,
wasn't
that was
pre-recorded.
that was pre-recorded.
Oh, was it?
Is that the one that ends with somebody in the trunk?
They're not in
The
the
GPS
trunk. They're
one.
in the lap.
In
And
the
then,
back seat.
Brooks jumps. Brooks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
jumps
was the
up.
line? Like, a jury may not convict you, but we can? Something like
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the GPS one. That was a great misdirection.
that? Yeah,
Yeah,
it seemed
that
like it
was-
was going to be a one-note joke on Lena Dunham not being able to sing along because of the GPS cutting in, and then the button on it, I think, is what pushed it over the top, obviously.
Here's a question. I
Yeah,
have.
if that last part hadn't taken place, it wouldn't be on my list.
My question is, did anybody include a live sketch from the Lena Dunham episode?
I don't remember a
I don't
live
think so.
Because I'm
sketch.
guessing...
I didn't break it down by episodes.
I'm guessing somebody had biblical movie, maybe, to talk about?
Well, we'll find out when we get to everyone's list, Rob.
I don't know. We might jump around. I don't know, but I'm just trying to...
We'll find out when we get to everyone's list.
Well, I'm trying to expand it into thoughts on hosts and the show in general.
I honestly didn't break it down, but like, here's all the Lena Dunham episodes. Here's all the John Goodman schedule. I went through episode by episode, write it down. Okay, and now
I guess
number 5 of them.
That men's rights sketch became a bit of a flashpoint for that episode.
Oh, I forgot that was
amongst
Lena.
people who are terrible. But yeah, there's a lot of people who go into that one with agendas against Lena Dunham to begin with, and I
Yeah.
think that shapes how you, if you don't like the host, like I think Brian's a key example with the Jim Parsons episode, where if you go, if you don't like the host, you're not going to like the episode. And
I've got one of those sketches on my
I
backup
didn't hate
list.
the Lena Dunham episode, and I'm not a fan whatsoever of Lena Dunham.
I think it's
I
just a
was-
bigger hurdle to get over. I don't like Jim Parsons. I didn't mind the episode, but I agree with
See,
what
and
you're saying.
I really
you really
hated
ruined
Miley
it.
Cyrus. And when I saw her on SNL, she gained a lot of points with me.
Points.
Points!
Miley Cyrus had a good episode. She did.
She did.
Was that her second or third time hosting?
I want to say 3rd, but I'm not sure. I'm not the historian here.
Why don't we jump around a bit? If we come across an episode or mention a host specifically that somebody has like a showcase sketch for, like I have on my very long list, We Did Stop, the music video where Miley Cyrus played Michelle Bachmann, and
That's my number one sketch for the entire year.
Whoa.
Really?
Oh, really?
Oh.
Let's just go through the list, and if something comes up to you, like, oh, that's a lot, and that reminds me of this, then do
Well,
it. But
my third
we have a list. Let's go
choice.
through the list.
My third choice, evidently, is
Evidently,
like
obviously, everyone.
everybody hates this guy. Dance Floor Killer with Jim Parsons.
I
That
had
was
him
on my
on
choice.
my long list too.
Me too.
I loved that. I thought it was hysterical.
That was maybe the only Jim Parsons sketch I have. But
That was the only one that did anything for me of that.
I've got Murder Mystery from that on my backup list.
Yeah, Murder Mystery wasn't bad either.
Oh, backup list.
I know, right? We're pros. Looking at my iPad. Yeah, that was the one Jim Parsons one I have. Other than Dance Floor Killer on my
So
list.
everybody dislikes Jim Parsons?
He's the best.
this sounds like a sitcom. Everybody dislikes Jim Parsons.
Coming to you this fall.
Jim Parsons controls the universe.
What was your number 4 then?
28 Reasons.
Ooh, good.
Yeah.
I really liked it, and it was the start of like all the controversy, but I thought that it was I thought it was fun, and I thought it was great.
Do we want to talk about that?
I loved every time one of those
all
happened because I
controversy?
loved all those controversies. It just fueled my fire a little bit.
Well, I lumped everything in together. Like, okay, so here are...
Racist.
Well, that came off wrong. But I have the list of kind of race-related sketches that hit big. There were, or got some like media attention. There was the Kerry Washington cold open.
Right.
Yeah.
There was Leslie Jones on Weekend Update. I kind of messed up the order, but Black Jeopardy.
Oh, I had that on my list.
How
That
We
was on
Doing?
yeah.
28 Reasons. The 12 Years a Slave auditions. And the 12 Days a Slave sketch.
Yep.
12 days not
12
a slave?
days free.
Damn it.
Yeah. And it's how's he doing, right? That's the Obama sketch?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What kind of Google alert did you have to set up to get that entire list?
No, I just went through every episode.
You rewatched the season.
Yep, in about 12 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am right now. Pretty much. But no, are people agreed that the storyline for the season was kind of, the first half was they definitely need a black female cast member so that they can do things related to race. Look what happened when Kerry Washington hosted. They were able to do a bunch of race-related stuff. And then when they brought in Sashir Zameda and started doing race-related sketches, everyone freaked the fuck out.
Not
Yeah,
everyone.
it's interesting
Weird
to me
percentage.
that like the Kerry Washington sketch where they did the "How's he doing" didn't really catch any flack. Whereas I feel like if it had been Shazir Samata, that it would have been like, oh, how dare they?
You think the celebrity kind of gave them a little bit of cover? It didn't,
I think so.
but it didn't
That sounds
affect
right.
like Louis C.K. and Black Jeopardy. You feel like people would have seen Louis C.K. and thought that,
But he's
oh, it's
not
going to be a
black.
little edgy.
But
think
I
the-
think the
If
timing.
anything, he should have been like, I'm actually Mexican, you guys.
But I think
It's okay.
it was also because Kerry Washington was in the first half of the season when the race thing was like, they need someone. Here's one. So they kind of gave her a little bit of leeway / criticism in a weird way, where Louis C.K. back half, when they've been doing those race-related sketches for a little while now, and it just added one more to their already cancel Colbert hashtag activism that they got on their mind.
The lightning rod in the Kerry Washington one was the opening sketch where she was playing multiple
Yeah.
roles, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think even in that beauty pageant sketch where she was from, I believe, an African nation, and
Yeah.
she just said, who is this? What is that? Like, with broken English, basically. I think that got a little bit of flack as well.
Yeah.
Well, the bigger thing was that they had text scroll over the screen and an announcer actually come in and say, like, we are very aware of the problem. We are working to address it. That was the big deal.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, as if they were willing to make fun of it without actually doing anything about it.
But then they did something about
And
it.
then they did something about it.
I think
did
they
something.
handled race in the second half of the season well.
This is the reason why Saturday Night Live needs to keep existing, because every time they have a bad season, it's more like Saturday Night Dead, and
God.
that whole comes out. And this is what's fascinating about it now is where it's basically the last live program that still exists. And now with the way Twitter works, and any controversy blows up, and SNL has to react to this controversy
Yeah.
as it happens, because in the past decades of television, whenever something would happen like this, you'd have a few writers who would talk about it. It wouldn't blow up to the point where you could hear every single person's complaint about it. Now you do. So it's fascinating as an experiment just to see what happens with SNL as
See what they do with it.
exactly, because they have
Now,
to
Matt-
constantly react to it.
Matt, are you telling me that SNL is still on the air? Because I had no idea.
Saturday Night Live? How does that work?
We're just
More
gonna-
like Saturday night pre-taped, am I right?
oh,
I hate all of those comments that you see on every goddamn SNL article.
100%.
It's still on the air? Same with Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yes, it's on. You know it's on the air, you motherfucker. Anyway.
yeah, it's
So angry.
It was a passionate, emotional season.
it should be interesting because I think now it's just going to keep extending. Where how come we don't have any Latino cast members?
They
Or-
tried that earlier in the season.
They
and
tried it,
that
but
died a quick
I imagine it won't go away.
Or brown cast members.
Well, the Latino one happened after Cecily Strong did that very, what was it?
death. That was the men's rights.
Spanish, Mexican woman?
That was the men's rights one.
Oh, okay.
Isn't Nassim a Brown cast member?
But she was on like 11 minutes of the show. I know.
They're
I got all those
They
points.
consider her Asian. She's listed as an Asian cast member.
She's
Yeah,
listed. They have that on the
Technically, Saad and I
website.
are Asian as well.
And Asian cast
The
member.
ethnicity
Nassim
breakdown that I read
Pedrad.
on SNL, they did have her listed as an Asian cast member. And they said Fred Armisen was also listed as an Asian cast
Because
member.
Fred Armisen's like a
Wait.
fourth Japanese or something.
Yeah, something
Doesn't
like that.
count.
Is that where
Asian?
he's from? I have no idea where Fred Armisen is from.
He's like a mix of stuff.
Yeah, I think Venezuelan and
I think we should be
Japanese.
talking about this.
I felt
Also,
like he
I
was
certainly
Middle
don't think the
Eastern
term
and
mix of
South
stuff
American.
should make it into the final edit.
Also, going back like 5 minutes, we should point out that Louis C.K. is actually Mexican, and that wasn't a joke
I said that.
Leah was
Yeah.
saying.
already.
No. You said he should have come out and said on the show he's Mexican.
Just like Mitt
And
Romney.
I wanted to clarify it's because he actually is Mexican. It's
Spanish
not that
is my
Leah
first language.
is a racist.
His first language, not mine. I don't speak Spanish.
Are there any other sketches on your list?
The only other thing I have listed, and it was just like a general reoccurring sketch, I want gone completely from the universe. Baby Boss, I want it gone.
Gone?
I love Baby Boss.
Look, I didn't love Baby Boss as much as everyone, but to want it gone, are you heartless?
I want it
Monster.
gone. I want
That's
it
why
gone.
that's
Cut her
Alright,
mic.
of the year.
Cut her mic.
Leah, state your argument for why Baby Boss should be gone.
Because it makes me uncomfortable, you guys. I don't like it. I don't see what's funny about it. And I just feel really ill at ease when I watch it.
Isn't that the point?
No! The point
I'd
should
say
be for it to be funny.
I'd say it was diminishing returns. I think the first one was better than the subsequent.
I admire when they just fall down on their ass on command and
But it's
keep
the
going
same
with it.
joke over and over, and it's not even funny.
Unlike
a
so many
great
other
joke.
skits.
I think
It
you
is-
could be saying this about a lot of sketches that have far more diminishing returns than Baby Boss, which has shown up twice.
But I don't feel like that's it. No. Baby Boss is in like every episode, right?
No.
This is how traumatizing
Twice.
it is for me, you guys.
First one was Josh Hutcherson, and the second one was Louis C.K.,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
that's all I
think
can
that's it.
Is
No,
that
there
Yeah,
was
that's-
another one.
I think it was only 2.
100%.
Really?
Only 2 times.
3 times is too many.
What kind of nightmares are you having at night, Leah, that you think
I
Baby
really
Boss
don't.
is haunting
I
your
really
life?
don't like Baby Boss,
Her
and
mic.
nothing in
Yeah.
it has.
Leah, who's
What?
the baby boss in your life?
Oh, I don't want to talk about this, you guys. I just want it gone.
All right, do we want to talk about any other sketches people want gone?
I would also like Kim A gone, but I think
yes,
with Nassim
I
being
agree.
gone, that it will be gone. So
I would venture a girlfriend's talk show.
Does Colin Jost count as a sketch?
Oh,
Mean. No, I can see. Well, yeah, I can
He
see
showed
Kim
no,
Ye going
no growth for me over the year,
Nassim
the
Pedrad.
half year.
Give him a year.
let's talk let's talk sketches we want gone first, and then we can go to Colin Jost.
I did not grab anything that I hate, but I agree with Kim Ye. Kim Ye doesn't do anything except the Kim impression. That's really good, but that's about it.
Yeah, they really needed to find a way to fit that in there after they lost. It was Abby Elliott was Chloe, right? So they couldn't all show up. But,
Yeah, did they have they brought in all the Kardashians in that one a few months ago, and they had like it was like almost like a chorus of them.
there was
Yeah,
a
the
band. It was
Kardashian
like a
band.
Kardashian
Bruce.
band.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a different way to keep that impression going, but yeah, it's very very shallow. It's like she's stupid, he's egotistical, and that's about it.
Well,
Trying
I
to think
also I have a problem with it because they're not. I don't know, like Kim Kardashian. I just don't feel like we should be drawing attention to her. She doesn't do anything. Like she's famous for nothing, and I don't feel the need to glorify that by turning her into a.
Did you see the New York Post article about their wedding announcement?
Oh yeah.
It was basically 2 idiots get married. Who the F cares? It was like literally
Yeah.
the article.
They like literally called.
But they still wrote an article about it.
It wasn't an article. It was like 3 sentences. It
Yeah.
was like
With a yawn in the headline.
reality show.
No, a sex tape star, Kim
Sex tape
Kardashian.
star Kardashian got married to egotist Kanye West in a wedding that was too tacky for reality TV.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's weird because Kanye West is actually a relevant celebrity in terms of the music industry, but he doesn't. It feels like he's one of these washed-up reality stars now. It's a weird dichotomy.
Do we think that Kim started dating Kanye just to maintain relevance?
Who the fuck cares?
Don't care. She's not relevant to me in any way, shape, or form. Except as a
Let's
cast
talk about
member.
that shape. Am I right, guys?
Inappropriate.
Any other sketches we want gone? I want Girlfriend's Talk Show gone.
See, now I feel like that's a really big 180 for you, because you were, like, when I didn't like Girlfriend's Talk Show, like, you and Brian totally jumped on me about it.
Rightfully so.
I don't necessarily remember that. I feel like the format
You
is
defended it.
strangling the hell out of it.
Yeah, I think they did 4 of them this year, and it definitely has the diminishing returns thing going for it. But I don't know. I think it was a good sketch when 80 wasn't doing very much else on the show, and now she's getting to do a little bit more and doing really well whenever she does get that chance. So, I mean, scale it back, because they're not as bad, I find, with recurring sketches as they used to be. I think Kristen Wiig was particularly rough for that sort of thing.
Go back to the Tina Fey years. That with all the jingles and Carol.
Like, honestly, I'm trying to think of sketches I want gone, and there's not that many that seem that recurring. I was trying to think of something centric to Kenan Thompson, even, because I know I would want
Get rid of the bartenders.
I can't even think of recurring sketches that he does. So
You guys, come on.
Keenan's too versatile to have a recurring character, you guys.
And the recurring
It's
character he had, they don't do anymore. And it was
what up with
amazing.
What up with that?
Do you know how much I miss What Up With That?
I only miss it for Sudeikis.
I kind of miss what was his French stand-up comedian on Weekend Update?
Jean Valjean or
Oh, Jean Lejean.
Jean Valjean.
Pseudolore?
It was
Yeah,
Jean Valjean.
Where did he go? Where did he go? I love him.
Incroyable. Doom, ba-doom,
Incroyable.
da-doom, da-doom. I do like the idea of it being Jean Valjean from Les Miserables.
It was Jean Valjean, but it was Jean. That was his name.
It's not.
I think it was Jean Lejean or Jean Lejean
Yeah, I
or
think so.
something like that.
No, I
I
think
think
it was
Jean
Jean
Valjean. But when I
Valjean.
finally saw
Jean K. Jean.
Oh, Jean Cajun. Okay, yeah, all right.
Mic drop. All right, who's gonna? Anyone else have just a short list?
I have a list of 5.
Go for it.
Go.
All right, so number 1 is the Midnight Coterie
Wait,
of
who's
Sinister
talking?
Intruders. This is Saad, by the way.
Oh. Hi,
That
Saad.
Wes Anderson spoof.
Yep,
What up?
that was
BFF?
on my backup. Good.
Fantastic.
missed it. Yeah,
I just thought it was
That's
so
not
well
on this.
executed, and Edward Norton's impression of Owen Wilson was spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on,
Just-
no?
As
God.
much as Good Neighbors have been controlling the digital short space, that was probably my favorite film bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
they're very good at replicating the look of what they want to parody, like in that one, or the Bagency.
Yep.
Or there's another one,
Boys Dance
the
Party?
Miley Cyrus one, like where they replicated that video as well as they could. They've just been really good with the production values on those sort of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
The turn on of those are crazy, I imagine.
Yeah.
Excellent choice.
Yeah. Number 2 is Bagency. Just
It's
Just
so
basic-
true, it hurts.
it is.
Hurts.
I thought it. I mean, speaking to exactly what you guys just said, the execution of it was just great.
I got into so many Facebook fights about
What?
Wait, now can we
Nerd.
take a poll of who here? Because I know me, Rob, and Brian aren't fans of Beyonce. Who here is a fan of Beyonce?
Define fan.
Yeah, fan, what do you mean?
You have more than Crazy in Love on your iPod.
Yeah, I'm a fan then.
Irreplaceable.
More Than Crazy in Love and Single Ladies.
I'm about irreplaceable.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Okay.
To the left.
I've only got Crazy Love on mine. That's it.
I only have Single Ladies.
I
no
only have
love for
Crazy
Drunken
Love.
Love,
That
guys.
I've never even heard Drunken Love.
Where do we fall on Destiny's Child stuff?
I love Destiny's Child.
I've got Survivor.
I feel like you're one or the other at this point.
Bills, Bills, Bills. Come on. Classic.
Can you pay my automobiles? That's the best lyric in the history of music.
Very good.
Okay, I'll just keep going.
Keep going,
Number
Seth.
3 is Baby Boss.
Nice.
I love Baby Boss.
Oh,
It just
100%.
it seems so distant from most of what SNL is doing lately, and more in line with like things. Old school SNL like Bill Brasky or Caveman Lawyer, just sort of out there craziness, and I love it.
Crazy concept
It makes no
character.
sense in this context, but
The physical performance behind it. I agree.
Yeah, Yeah, and yeah, just the commitment that he has to that role is like amazing.
That's what brought Beck really to my attention. Was like, oh my god, this guy's genius. I hope he did this as an audition because he absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, but has he really proven himself in anything besides that? Like he's a good straight man. He shows up in a bunch of stuff, but has he? I don't know. I feel like that character does show a lot of promise, but is it like a one-trick thing he can do, or does he actually have like hidden wells?
No, I think, like you said,
really
like
not as good as you think it is.
Straight
really
his physicality is good.
It's not. His physicality is not even that good. It's really not.
Leah,
have you
next
seen
time,
a baby?
Ignoring
Leah?
the wrong opinion.
I don't think Leah knows what a baby looks like.
next time you're here in person, Leah, we will see your baby and we will compare.
I don't have a baby.
No, not your baby. Your baby.
In terms of the featured cast that they brought in, I think Beck got more opportunity than any of them in terms of getting to carry his own live sketches.
So, yeah,
Live, definitely.
Yeah, because he and Mooney were kind of working together early on, and then Mooney sort of.
I would argue that that's just because he's the most he looks like the everyman. He's kind of attractive in that Midwestern sense, and he's the straight guy. I think that that's the only. He's not the funniest. He's not anything like that.
I think he's a solid straight guy, and he's got that physical talent behind his back too. I think he's good for a couple of years at least.
I thought he would have been great taking over on Update, and could have played that news straight man who's able to break from that mold when he needs to sell a joke.
I think he would have been much better on Update than Colin Jost.
Let's go back to Jost.
Yeah, I think
I promised we were going to.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So number 4 is Boy Dance Party.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's, for whatever reason, just slayed me.
Oh, no. I think we all love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was really the only standout from the Bruce Willis episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody not have Boys Dance Party? Except, I guess, Leah, right?
I didn't put it in my top
I loved
5.
Boys Dance Party, but I knew everybody was going to list
exactly.
Boys Dance Party.
Yeah, I left it off the
same
list as
idea.
well.
I think, would anybody say that it's not probably one of the best 5 sketches of the season?
Absolutely. I would say that.
I would agree.
I was happy with my top 5.
I would say out of the recorded ones, that Boys Dance Party was definitely like number 5. And I feel like it was the first like breakout of the year. Although, what did the Fox say? Was that before Boys Dance Party?
Bruce Willis was before Kerry Washington, so yeah. It was before.
I didn't love that one anyway.
Yeah. I didn't either, but I don't like that
loved
song.
What did my girl say? I loved
Oh,
it.
yeah. That was
It was just, it seemed like tired, like guy and girl jokes, and my girlfriend's like this.
No, but then the girlfriend came back and had her own side. It was great.
Quality, man.
Actually, to kind of sidestep off that, something I kind of wanted to mention, but was not necessarily within my top 5. Does anybody remember? It was like one of the first 2 episodes, the 24-hour energy for dating actresses.
Oh, that one was great. That one really was great.
I saw that in the list of. I go, I don't remember this. Move on. Yes, I totally remember that. That was great.
It hit so many accurate points as somebody who took drama in school. And then at the end, when they flipped it, and it's like for dating male comedians. And it was so good.
Yeah. I know a couple of my actor friends posted that on Facebook and Twitter. I'm like, yes. Scary true.
Scary true. Anyway, Saad, continue.
Oh, and yeah, just for my final pick is the... I don't know what the name of the sketch would be, but it's the Disney World ride sketch with Drake.
Yeah, I had that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I was considering that. The Indiana Jones stunt thing?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
with like the rolling boulder from was it Temple of Doom? Well, regardless.
No,
but yeah,
first
that,
Nassim
Raiders.
as a tourist who wouldn't
I had that as an honorable. I had it as an honorable mention because Drake was so good in it,
Drake
but I
was
thought the Nassim stuff was just repetitive, so I couldn't, call it one of the best of the year. But
for
I
me,
think it was a
mostly
showcase. Like
about-
I had Drake as the best host of the year, so that's one of the main reasons.
I think that's the main reason I picked it. It's just he was kind of underrated for me. I wasn't expecting to be as good as he was.
Yeah, his enthusiasm made that sketch.
I
Yeah,
feel like there
absolutely.
were a lot of hosts this year, especially first-time hosts, who brought an amazing energy and enthusiasm. Even if the episode itself wasn't fantastic. I remember Drake being pretty good, but I feel like Anna Kendrick got shortchanged. I think Andrew Garfield.
I think that's expectations too. I think we expected Anna Kendrick to be great, and she was great, but
But also,
then
like,
you're not blown away by it, right?
Didn't we have a run of episodes? It was like Paul Rudd, John Goodman, Melissa McCarthy, who like they all kind of got meh. Writing.
Yeah.
Although Melissa McCarthy kept going kind of to the same well that we've seen her go to a lot.
Yeah, they all felt a little repetitive. Good, not bad, but a little repetitive. I agree.
Yeah, but that's
good
just
list.
my list.
Good list, Saad.
Thank you.
Good.
You stole 2 of mine.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Good list. Family Feud style. Good list.
I want to go next.
Okay. Do you want to go next, or do we want to talk about Joe's? Because I feel like it's bursting out of people.
I think we've talked enough about Joe's. Matt hates him. I like him. Everyone else is like, give him a year.
No, I despise him.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
Just terrible.
That's a bit rough. I don't like him. I'll give him a few more episodes. See how he starts off with his own season.
I think he's sold.
Go ahead.
I think he's sold 2 jokes well in his entire time behind that desk, and the rest
2
of it
is the accurate number. It was exactly 2.
Do we like Cecily?
Oh,
I love Cecily.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do we like her as an anchor, though? Setting aside that we love her as a sketch performer.
I think if you gave her a real co-host, someone to play off of and have some sort of back and forth in the ways the great duos have on that show, you'd get a lot. She'd improve remarkably, but she's basically working with a mannequin right now.
Yeah. And I
Just
don't feel like it should be so hard for him. He is a stand-up who has to deliver jokes, so I don't understand why he has ever for a joke delivery.
Cheery.
Brian, do you want to go?
Opinions.
What's the point? I'm just arguing against the wall. I like him enough.
No. Do you want to go with your
list?
list?
My list? Sure. I got to pick 2 out of my random
what is it that you like about him?
I just like... Well, I like his attractiveness. But I know, I just like his straight manness. That's good.
Brian falls for a good smirk.
He is really cute, but I'm going to say he's very short, and that lost me a little bit.
Oh,
Brian, do you like Seth Meyers? Do you find him attractive?
Not unattractive.
So
I
there
put him
is
more
a
on the
different-
attractive scale.
So there is a difference between Colin Jost and Seth Meyers to you.
Like, they're different people, yes.
Brian,
I could tell them apart in a room and wouldn't be confused at all.
flip to your backup list of hottest men on SNL.
Ooh, I have to go
I have that prepared as well.
No, I don't, sadly. That's a whole separate list.
All right, hit us with your list.
Let's just pick 2 on my random list here. I think a lot of people might have this one. Dyke and Fats.
Oh,
Yes, I had that one too. I was waiting to pull that out.
The production values, again, they just nailed that. And I remember watching, going, "Oh no, I should not. This is going to be offensive. Oh no, people. No, wait, no, this is really good." They totally stole me. But at first I was like, "Oh no!" I clenched when they first revealed what it was, and they totally won me over by the end of it.
Yeah, they played it perfectly.
Yeah, their anger at their captain when he
the last line.
No, you don't get to say that. Those are our words. And just to find out the origin of it, when they're working late one night on script and they refer to themselves as those names in the third person, like Dyke is feeling tired. Oh, so Fats is really feeling tired too, and they just like, no, this is a sketch. This is a sketch. Yeah, absolutely perfect. I love that sketch.
I'd love to see them working more two-hander sketches in the future, just the 2 of them leading.
Absolutely, they'd be a great gal pal team. Do like Laverne and Shirley stuff, or just good weird relationship stuff. It's a good duo. Absolutely.
Even in the finale, that one camp sketch where they were the 2 leads, and that pretty good.
Excellent. Let's see. Let's pull another one out. There's a few here. I think other people take. So I'm going to go with one randomly. I was so happy to see it back. Les Jeunes de Paris.
Number 4 on my list.
I absolutely loved that when they used to have it. Yeah. Paul Britton, I don't know why. It's always stuck in the background to me as one I just liked this a lot.
Wait, Paul, he's not on the show anymore.
No, but back when they did it, or the original season. And then when they brought it back, I was very surprised that they brought it back, but the appearances by, Jean-Luc Picard was in this one, and one of the Musketeers. I just love the absurdity of it. I love that I get a lot of the references, because I think Leah does too, which both speak French, so we get pretty much everything they're saying without having to worry about it being kind of contextualized.
We don't even need subtitles, although it's pretty basic.
Now, hold on, was it one of you who brought up the quote-unquote controversy that the French songs are always about war and very actually depressing?
I brought that up. That there are a lot of protest songs that they use for the silly.
Well, the
silly
French should
stuff.
stop making their protest songs so danceable.
Exactly.
It's true. It is kind of on them. You're
I
right.
actually have one of the songs on my iPod. I liked it so much. Tiki Toi from a couple years ago is on my iPod.
I have Tiki Toi too.
So good.
It's easily one
in
of
my
my favorites.
shower mix.
I don't think they've done it in a few years, and when I saw the logo come up on the screen, I like jumped off my couch
too.
and started
I
celebrating.
But
'cause
now I
love that
like
sketch.
it, and I was always delighted by them. But maybe when they were like a new sketch, I would have placed them higher. But do you really think they're like the
disagree.
top 5 of the year?
For
or,
me?
or are you
Well-
just saying it as a sketch that you wanted to talk about?
It was on my backup list, and 2 of my picks got picked, so I pulled it into my top 5.
Okay.
It was
But I
legit
do
my
think
number
that
4.
this one this year was probably the best one that they've done.
Yeah, it's up there. Like the Tiki Toi one was probably my favorite, but this is definitely up there.
They all kind of blend together for me. Like, what's up with that?
I find the best way to enjoy them in the similar way where what's up with that is keep an eye on Sudeikis. I find in these ones watch Nassim Pedrad because her
Yes,
dancing is
this is
the
great.
best of anybody in the sketch.
Absolutely.
Now, Brian, can I predict one that I think will be on your list?
I think everyone knows my number 1, but we'll get to that in a little
Okay.
bit. So my original number 5, and again, I'm surprised this wasn't taken already, but Monster Pals.
I loved it. I did debate on Monster Pals, but I also thought somebody would take that one.
That was again production values going around town. The mystery, and I like that we all guessed wrong on who the second person was in the mask. And Leah was like,
I
"Oh,
kind
I
of looked like
totally
an
knew.
asshole. Yeah.
I totally knew. Come on!" And then we find out, nope, that's not right. But the James Franco stuff, the sadness of it. It was just really. It seemed like it had a message too, like "Don't change who you are."
In the long line of Mike O'Brien said,
Yes.
now, I was actually surprised Leah didn't include
The bug one?
reporter.
I was going
Bug was
to.
on my shorts.
I was going to.
But like Mike O'Brien, those two and Sad Mouse starring Bruno Mars last
Mike
year.
O'Brien was behind Sad Mouse?
Yeah, he was.
Nice.
Yep.
So yeah, no, the Bug Reporters on my backup list too. Both were great. Both great Mike O'Brien showcases, and I had him as my pick this year, so I'll take it. And speaking of Mike O'Brien, my number 2 officially. Guess anyone?
I think I have a guess.
Hold on, Twin Bed.
Nope.
Bird Bible.
Nailed it. Bird Bible.
Also, my number 2.
I would
No, wait, my
buy
number 3.
that if they sold those to the store. SNL store. I tweeted to SNL say, if you put these in your online store, I will buy them so fast. Even like little postcards or something. I was crying laughing.
Now,
let-
is
let-
it offensive to Christians, Brian?
Everything's
Enjoy it for what
offensive
it
to
is.
Christians.
Everything's offensive to Christians.
Facts.
Christianity's offensive to Christians.
Yeah.
The performances by your 2 adult cast members, the glee in the kids' eyes is going through it like, oh wow.
Did you notice how they're all birds?
I just love just the concept behind it, not just let's put birds in the Bible and make it a big deal, but how they presented it, the format of the commercial where it's like, well, the boy's friend ran away because you didn't present the Bible fun enough.
Interestingly enough.
But he will come back because there are birds.
It's what, like $800 to buy it?
Yeah.
Now, what was the line where Mike O'Brien, it caused Mike
Yeah.
O'Brien to say,
Just enjoy it
let's
for
not
what
be
it is.
greedy? Yep.
Yeah, just enjoy it. I wish it was this kind of bird, the kid said. Like, just enjoy it for what it is. And he had that perfect look on his face.
So great.
Yeah, that was my number 2. And my number 1 was, against all odds, Doing It on My Twin Bed. I saved this episode for months until they put it on the digital short special. I bought the song off iTunes. I pretty much listen to it almost every day. I love this one.
Much better than dongs all over the world.
Oh,
yeah.
dog.
Nice
What a
contest.
failure.
I prefer it over Boy Dance Party.
Ooh.
I do too.
Yeah.
I
like
can
Boy
understand
Dance.
that though.
I don't.
Come at us, bros.
There are so many
I'm all about the
different.
boy dance party.
There were so many different parts that make me. It's not just one little bit that made me laugh at one point. Like the 7th grade pictures, I was,
Oh, yeah.
I think, on the floor
yeah.
at that.
Baby
But the-
80, I think is how 80s
Yeah, the
introduced in that
80s
one.
picture. Oh my god.
The
And
line
the-
that killed me was, "Now it's a whole thing with James."
Now it's
Oh,
a
the way
whole
80
thing
sold
with
that
me.
was,
That put it over the top for me,
Oh,
too. Yeah.
her face.
yeah.
I also enjoyed the here's my christening gown and my stack of X-Files and VHS. and the like hottie like JTT, and the lips move on the the JTT poster.
It definitely seems like the inspiration for all these ones are very Pussycat Dolls. Unless there's a new pop group who's like that I'm not aware of. I'm not that close to
I totally agree with that. That's
kids are doing. But
is it fair to say Dongs Over the World was meant as like a pseudo sequel for Twin Bed?
I can see that.
Like
same vein anyway. All the women together, pop songs.
Are those the two that Matt Means as Pussycat Doll inspired?
Those are the ones I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, that was my 5 plus including my 2 randoms there.
Shall we go to Kevin?
I also had a backup list, which I'm completely on now.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Well, quickly, what were your 5 originally before you go into your backups? Just
I didn't have any order. I had Dykes and Fats. Mm-hmm. I had Your Love with Josh Hutcherson.
Nice.
I had the Wes Anderson horror movie. I don't remember what that was called. So the backup list has I like Beer Pong, the first first Good Neighbors one.
Yeah, I really liked Beer Pong.
Very good.
That was on my list.
So was that you agreeing, or was that?
Yeah, no, that's I totally forgot about that one.
Those are really
like one of the
actually made me
rules is
very
like
hungry.
if you sing it like this, you've made a buddy or something like that.
Yeah.
What was the train part?
I can't remember the train part. I remember your
design...
ideal water slide up on the board.
Yeah, I did. Or design a roller coaster. Don't let physics constrain you or something.
Let your imagination run wild.
That's great.
It felt good.
And then the baseball player or the baseball card photo was good too. I like the Her parody. Him? Was it called Him?
Oh yeah, with
Me. It was called Me.
Me. Okay, just having Michael Cera show up right at the end was really good to me.
Yeah.
How about that? That was really good. Production.
And then I threw on one reoccurring bit, which I don't know how you guys feel about this. Not a fan of the show, so I don't really listen to it as often. That was a joke. Sorry.
Oh, our podcast. Oh, you mean
Stunned silence?
I thought you meant SNL.
Hashtag cancel deep thought.
I put Morning Miami on there.
Oh, nice.
I had that too. At least I wanted to talk about it. It might be my favorite new recurring sketch.
Yeah, I put one recurring on there because I think all the other ones I had were either pre-recorded or just one-off things.
Yep.
We're counting down to the Topher Grace cameo in this one eventually, right?
Right? It has to happen.
I think he'd be up for it.
I know he's tweeted about it a couple of times.
The only thing is, I think the Momentum didn't Morning Miami get cut from Theron? The Theron episode?
Got cut for one recent or one of the later ones, yeah.
So maybe it's dying out.
Though Charlize, Theron, it was cut.
No, but I love that sketch. I really do. Bitch, fantastic. It's just all the little... I would probably almost love it just for them fuming between takes alone, but the little crazy morning show guests they mention.
And just a little moment where Kate starts to sing to herself, and the other two are like, shut it up. Shut up.
Solid.
And I wasn't telling you guys to shut up.
I think that was it, actually. I had one more, but now thinking about it, maybe not.
Do it.
Now you have to say it.
Do it.
It was the ice cream one. The other Good Neighbors one.
Where they pass out.
Really?
Yeah,
or something.
I don't know why. It just kind of struck a chord with me. Where they go into like this. They just go into their head thinking about the joke.
Yeah.
Got a primer feel to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Where they walk in on them themselves, and it was
great.
That was my number 11, so it was a real fringe one.
God, you've seen Primer? Who's seen that movie?
Oh my God.
I borrowed it from Brian, so.
I love that movie. I didn't know anybody else had seen that.
While we're on Good Neighbors, should we talk about some stuff like... I thought Blockbusters was kind of interesting.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember that one.
What?
It was the one after Blockbuster shut down. It was like they had some sort of ritual, and then they went to Lady Gaga was there, and they had a sex orgy in a tent, and it was this really weird, but kind of moving, all these Blockbuster employees saying goodbye to their work.
I don't remember that. Vaguely remember a Blockbuster skit.
I think my favorite Good Neighbor was the one where he walks in on Kyle Mooney dancing, and he decides he's going to be a huge star.
Oh, yeah.
I hated that.
Oh,
You hated
throws
that?
the tape at the VCR and it starts playing anyway.
I like
I
that one.
hated that.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
I have a few Good Neighbor sketches to talk about, but I hated that one
Surprised.
so much.
That's
Really good.
strong. That's strong wording.
I thought it was low-grade Lonely Island ripoff.
You're low-grade Lonely Island ripoff.
Scorch.
I'm gonna second Brian.
All right, fine. Nobody wants to talk about blockbusters. That's fine.
I don't remember it, honestly. It
I
sounds
just
like-
remember
sounds made up.
I remember the emo haircuts that Taron Killam and Michael Bryant had, and that's about all I remember of that sketch.
I'm conflating it with Best Buy in my head.
Oh, the firing ones?
Yeah.
Oh, those are terrible. That
that's
sketch can
making one
go
up.
too, but I think it's mostly gone by now.
Yeah, I think it's gone.
Which one's that?
Where the two people at Best Buy think they're about to get fired, and so they start going off on everyone.
Oh,
Cecily
right,
and
right.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
There was one at an M&M store in Times Square,
Yeah.
and Zach Galifianakis was in a giant M&M costume while they berated him or something. Yeah,
I don't mind them. They don't bother me.
I hate them.
So full of hate tonight, Rob.
I know.
Rage filled.
The bad boy of the podcast this week.
You
Don't talk
got
to me.
angry as soon as the season ended.
Don't
Yeah.
talk to me.
Once he came in a distant fourth.
A distant fourth. You had to throw that in, number 3.
Well, it was pretty decisive.
It's hard to see you all the way back there.
Sorry, are there any more to the current list? To Kevin's list.
Oh, that's the end of the list. Everything else has been taken.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Solid.
who's left?
I think that's me now.
Yep.
Good luck, Matt.
Okay. Well, you guys covered, my number one was the We Did Stop Miley Cyrus one, because that was just like a pitch perfect parody of what was going on and everything in the times and whatnot. And Bird Bible was number
Heady,
3.
heady
Talking now.
days
Is
of
this
football.
Matt?
Yes.
You guys should introduce yourselves before you start saying your list.
This is Rob. No, we shouldn't.
This is the Sex Dulcet Tones with Matthew
This is
Smith.
Brian. He did
So,
it.
No, so yeah, and my number 4 was Les Jeunes de Paris, and my number 3 was Bird Bible. So number 4, I had the hip hop classics from the Drake episode,
Oh, yeah.
where it was like all before they were famous.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah, starring on old TV shows.
Oh,
and they, like,
yeah.
Lil
replicate
Wayne
the
on
production
Family
value.
Matters.
That's so 2 Chains.
That's so 2 Chains.
That was crazy good for points for people who had anyone in that sketch.
We can just restate the production values of those tape things. Now that I'm hearing more and more of them, were so good.
Yeah.
Word.
Drake is Jay-Z on Mr. Wizard.
Those, those sitcoms, the Spike Jones, the Wes Anderson.
Wasn't there a Raven Simone one too?
That's So Raven?
That's so 2 Chains.
That's okay.
Okay.
And there was another one, but I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Rihanna as Blossom.
Oh, I love that one.
I think Kyle Mooney is
Awesome.
Joey Lawrence in that one.
Oh,
And there was a Jenna Von Oy.
yeah.
Who didn't have a crush on Jenna Von Oy? Come on.
No.
And my number 2 from the aforementioned Lena Dunham episode, Choo Choo Chaboosh, Choo Choo Chaboosh. This is an example of great rap. I loved the What's Poppin' sketch with That's a Rap.
Hold on. I remember that line.
Yeah.
What was the sketch?
That was a
Wait, you don't remember that? You
I
had
don't
such
remember
a
what the sketch
hard on
was.
for that
type
skit.
hip hop show.
Whoa.
And the group they brought out was 4 white people just doing like a spiritual, folksy type rap.
I recognize this as existing. I can't
Lena
remember
Dunham?
anything from it.
Are you
And-
serious?
And you guys hated it, and I loved it.
I liked it.
Leah's saying
loved it.
I loved it, and I probably did.
I thought
It was
everybody
Mike
loved
O'Brien
it.
on the drums. It's like
Yeah.
the girls and Tim.
Yeah,
It's
the
making
rap
me
names.
laugh
It's
just
his rap
talking
name?
about it.
Yeah, the rap names. That's right.
Go back and listen to that episode because I was the one who was like, "Yeah, it was
Choo
okay."
choo chaboosh. Choo choo chaboosh.
Shaboosh. This is an example of great rap.
D?
I loved that sketch. And I was going
Fantastic.
through, I was trying to focus on doing live sketches because you do this and it's, your dance card gets filled up with digital shorts at this point.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, what were some of the good live ones? And I loved that one. I remembered.
That's good. Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess some honorable mentions. I had the cast member or Arcade Fire from the season premiere.
Yes.
It's
That
fucking
was
amazing.
my-
that
that's
was a
an
good
honorable
one.
I
mention.
loved a sketch that just in the middle, like called out, like it was very self-aware and talked about what was going on in the show
No one
itself.
knows who these people are. Let's have fun with it.
I also liked the Blue River dog food commercial with.
It was on.
Good one.
It's on my
I
list.
was waiting for somebody to say
I
that.
thought that'd be on Rob's list for sure.
Jeezy
It's,
Louise.
here's what's happening. I had a list of like 30 sketches to potentially talk about, and I'm like bolding the ones I definitely want to talk about and eliminating them as other people mention them. It just got added to the list like 30 seconds ago, and now it's deleted because you mentioned it. Anyway, great sketch.
You
Cecily
monster.
Strong's best of. Amazing.
Yeah, it was a great performance, like piece on her behalf. And I think the only other one I had that no one mentioned, just because I love the sketch from the Jimmy Fallon, the Barry Gibb talk show. I just get excited for the theme
Barry
song
Gibb.
and the dancing.
Oh yeah.
I do not like
Chest
it.
hair, crazy cool medallions.
It was another episode of Barry Gibb to me, except Barry Gibb showed up. But other
Absolutely.
than
I was just excited to see it.
that, okay.
What was
and
up with
vocal
the
checks, of
Madonna
course,
thing?
'cause that
I
was
was gonna say,
Yeah, that was
like any
weird.
chance that had Madonna killed.
Who did Madonna play on it again?
She played
She was
Madonna.
just playing Madonna.
But at one point, he
Oh,
said
yeah,
something
she
to
took a
her, and she
selfie
just
during
put
it.
in. No, she put in like
Fake teeth.
fake teeth and just looked at him, and he's like, "Okay,"
Yeah.
and then
she's the
just
worst
changed
human
directions.
being ever.
entirely.
Did we ever find out the story behind that?
No,
I think
I
so.
don't.
Madonna thinks she's funny. That's what that was.
Donna was in town. Who knows?
And yeah, and lastly, we all have to just pay homage to the Vogelcheck sketch from the season finale because
That's fair. Somebody, I tweeted as Deep Thoughts and asked people for their favorite sketches, and Vogelcheck's was actually
I
a
saw
couple
that.
of replies.
I sarcastically said anything with Colin Jost, and then somebody favorited that tweet, and I almost wanted to lecture them. It's like,
Was
no, I
it
wasn't
Colin
being serious.
Jost? Was it him?
I believe I retweeted it as Deep Thoughts, so you might have been mistaking it for that, unless somebody also favorited it.
Someone probably favorited it after you retweeted it
Okay.
because this person is not a follower of mine.
All right.
That's-
Any other sketches? Anybody have sketches on their honorable mentions list? I'll let
I've
everybody
got
else
like
kinda take
six or seven. I got the Bug interviews, Murder Mystery, the Over Explainers, which is the official name of the sketch. That's the Will Smith concert tickets.
Oh,
yes,
I forgot
absolutely.
about that. I really like that. Good Neighbors.
Yeah, those are solid good neighbors. I've also got, this is one of those controversial race sketches that you didn't mention. Surprise. The Best of the Whites NBA video series.
Oh, I loved that.
I did like the best
How
of
did
the
I
White.
miss that?
Yeah, I remember that. The controversy. Those
It was
stupid,
controversial.
Stupid people who did not get that joke.
Yeah.
I've also got more recent ones. Dragon Babies. Surprised that didn't come up.
Dragon
Good.
Babies was great.
Again,
Eh.
good production values.
Was that? Do we know who wrote that?
No, I do not.
Do
Maybe
we suspect
O'Brien
it's
again.
Mike O'Brien.
I would say.
That's
Maybe
how he would have ended
Robinson?
up in the lead role in that, right?
Maybe Robinson.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Could be
We
fun.
refuse to acknowledge the existence of
I was going to
Robinson
say
Rand.
Robinson, that guy.
He showed up on an
Uh,
episode of Comedy Bang Bang, and I was very upset.
Oh.
He
I've also
showed up
got-
in another Seth Meyers role.
I
It
know!
keeps popping up, and I feel the need to spread it as Deep Thoughts. But
No need. My last one is the tourist sketch from, I think it was the...
I loved the Torres sketch. That would be on my backup as well.
That was
So
solid.
he's there and just walking away from her own camera.
The outfit. And was it O'Brien? No, it was Mooney who was like, how do you say... And then he'd say it in perfect American accent every time. It was solid. That was good. Those are the rest of my backups that weren't already mentioned.
all right, I got some. I've got some that I feel like we need to mention, and then there's some I really want to touch on and just hear reactions.
Need to. All right.
Yep, Jebediah Atkinson.
Oh, of course.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't pull any update characters. I didn't really consider it a sketch so much, but yeah,
it's
definitely we're
hard.
talking about it.
It's hard to remember. He debuted this year.
Yeah.
He's
3
not-
appearances, right?
He feels like
Yeah.
he's like long been considered Taron Killam's like go-to classic character, but he first appeared in October or November or something.
Yeah, I think it was
I could-
pretty late in the year.
I could already feel it getting a little weary by the third appearance.
How dare you? How dare
The
you?
crowd reaction was a little softer, and it felt like he was very much the same template as the second one, where there was the built-in line, well, I don't know if I want to do this one, after the audience had a bitch fest over the last one.
No, those are still delightful because I
They
can't
are.
necessarily tell if he's ad-libbing or if it's scripted.
I loved it the second time when he threw the card, and then it
Yeah.
landed on top of the other cards. It's like, couldn't do it again if I tried.
I worry he's running out of genres.
Yeah,
I really do.
I want them to take a big long break before they bring it back, and only do it like one more time next year.
Wait till 2015.
See, this is one of those characters that I really just want to see them beat with a horse. Like I want it every single week, and I just
do what?
So to you, the expression is beat with a horse.
With a horse.
When you love something, you beat it like a horse.
Beat a dead horse with a live horse.
Is that not how the saying goes?
You have 2 dead horses.
Now, what character?
You gotta laugh.
You gotta laugh.
Can we
What
call the
characters?
episode 2 Dead Horse?
What characters do you want to see come back?
And we are
every
talking
week?
about Taron Killam right now, so that's what makes it great.
Yeah. Bang bang reference. Leah, what characters do you want to see come back every week?
I want Jebediah to come back every week.
Oh, I thought you said that there were other characters you wanted.
No, this is like the character I just want them to drill into the ground. Like for me to like want to vomit when I see him because I love it so much.
This is a sign of affection from you. You want to drill things into the ground.
with a horse.
I'm not good with sayings.
It's a good character.
Yeah,
I really enjoy it. I love it. I want to get.
I like any characters that are allowed to break a little bit. Like Weekend Update's the one part of the show where you're allowed to break out of your characters just a little bit and have some improv laugh sort of thing. But
play with the audience or play with the other.
And I do really
As in
feel
the
like he
delightful
is
Garth and
going
Kat.
off of the reaction of this audience.
Yeah, working in the audience a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, I kind of like that aspect of, remember after the Oscars, they had Vanessa Bayer played that woman who took forever to come down from the audience?
Yeah.
Oh, Joyce DeWitt.
There you go. Yeah, I like incorporating the audience.
Joyce
a little more.
DeWitt.
From
Deep
Three's
pull.
Company.
Deep pull.
Oh, wait, maybe I got the wrong one then.
Yes, you did.
Wasn't it like
It was-
Jacqueline Bazet?
Jacqueline
No,
Bissett.
Yeah, it was
Jacqueline
Jacqueline
Bissett. That's right.
Joyce DeWitt was
Where
the
did
brunette from
Joyce
Three's
DeWitt come
Company.
Was Jacqueline Bissett a brunette? Was I even close with the hair?
She
She
is a
is a
brunette, I
brunette.
believe. And the really
She has
weird,
hair.
frumpy dress.
God, you guys cannot tell any women apart, can you?
Who's speaking right now, Leah?
Okay, so here's where I thought Matt was going when he mentioned a live sketch from the Fallon episode. Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Yep, good one.
Oh,
Solid
yeah.
Cecily.
Solid Cecily, really adorable. It's kind of weird that it took this many years for people to take the joke of like the last. I feel like a joke that has only appeared in the last 5 years of "Baby, It's Cold Outside" is a weirdly kind of rapey sketch,
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
turn it on its head and turn it into something else. And I
Yeah,
really
I thought
appreciate it.
Same thing.
We'll be
I
on
agree.
Christmas episodes forever.
And it's definitely a Cecily showcase sketch for sure. That's at her best of.
Dan Charles, One Direction's #1 fan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
That was good.
I remember Leah not especially loving it, but just almost for just the kid reactions alone.
It was my favorite of Paul Rudd's night.
I was going to say, out of Paul Rudd's episode, which was a really weak episode, I liked that one.
I'm a sucker for yelling at children and
Oh, me too.
and sideways
But just
glances
in
from
my life.
children. Did we ever find out, were those real fans or were they actors?
I don't think we found out.
Were we supposed to research that?
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't,
I
I don't
sent
know
out
if
my
anybody
assignment.
cares.
I sent out the homework. No, but I love that. The subway dancers from the Josh Hutcherson episode.
I was surprised nobody said that one. Lil Peanut. Oh, love me some Lil
Yeah.
Peanut.
Now, didn't he die by the end of the sketch or something?
Yeah, he's dead
Yeah.
at the end. Well, he goes missing. He's just missing, you guys. He's fine.
And they had, just as somebody who's visited New York, they had that down so well.
Yeah.
Just how they approach you and
Yeah.
declare their dances.
If I remember correctly, that was supposed to be a live sketch, but for whatever reason they changed it into pre-taped, and it works so much better.
Really?
Yeah. I remember reading that.
And then maybe my favorite Good Neighbors, except, I had beer pong. That was high on my list until it got mentioned. Chris for President.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That was on my I meant to put it on my short list and I forgot. Yeah, that was great. Reminded me
What
of
a
so many
band
high
name
school
from that
videos.
sketch again?
Oh.
Pardon?
Temporary Flawed or something like that.
Yeah, there were 3. Check the previous episode where we
I'm
covered
friends
that.
with some of those guys in the bands, and maybe they'll play at our school.
My girlfriend goes to this school, and if I'm elected president, she'll have to go here. Something like that. All the car crash footage.
Him trying to climb the chain link fence.
It was like Imager or something on some of the images.
Guitar, bass, drum club.
Getty images.
Yes.
Guitar-based drum club still mystifies me to this day.
That will be the name of someone's fantasy team next year.
Oh,
Yeah.
Write that one down.
Dibs. Okay, so some things I want to touch on that I think just kind of tried some interesting things. Edward Norton describing Halloween candy.
I liked it.
Yeah.
That was
Weird.
it's hard to really talk about because it was mostly like all these quotes and his weird Vincent Price-ish behavior.
Yeah.
But I really liked how they kind of just went for it on that one.
But Edward Norton was still one of my favorite, possibly my favorite episode of.
He was surprisingly really good, especially.
Yeah.
Has he never hosted, or was this one of those second time hosts?
They asked
after
him
15
like
years?
13 years ago, and he was practicing.
Yeah,
Until
it was a funny joke in his monologue. Where,
Yeah.
Come back to me in 15 years.
13.
Sorry.
Go to the tapes.
It was 13 years between Charlize Theron's hosting gigs, too.
Then that probably wasn't what it was.
Dun, dun, dun.
Didn't they? Wasn't it? I remember a few years ago, Sigourney Weaver and Charles Barkley had like back-to-back 14-year gaps or something.
I read today. I was curious.
phrasing.
I looked it up today. Sigourney Weaver has the record of like 24 years or something.
But I think that was like the week after Charles Barkley had broken the record.
It's not a competition, Rob. Well,
could have
literally
been.
it is, but
I need to compete somehow. The Fantasy League's over for the year.
points for this.
Yep. Okay, so there are two sketches relating to John Milheiser I wanted to mention.
Oh,
One
Because
was
there were only 2 this season.
I've got my chin in my hands. Listening.
one where he played a literal horse's ass.
From the Bruce Willis episode.
The Bruce
Oh,
Willis
yeah,
episode
yeah.
where he was in the costume and he had been there the entire sketch, and that kind of dictated how we viewed John Milheiser for the rest of the year.
He
And
replaced
then-
Little Peanut.
But his best sketch was probably, do you remember, I feel like it was late in the episode, Lady Gaga
Yeah.
and him playing parents who were dancing along with their kid in the talent show?
Yes.
Yes.
Such
Yes,
a good showcase.
Yeah, that was great. Oh,
He really, I mean, he had a shot earlier in the year, but by, January he was gone and he's dead on arrival.
Potential. He had
He did.
potential.
And
That was probably the best Lady Gaga sketch, too.
I think
That's
I like,
not
like the
saying
one from the
much.
future, which was an
Yeah.
old, decrepit.
No, that was too easy.
I liked it.
No.
I think a lot of people liked it. I didn't really care one way or the other.
It was the only thing I really think I liked in that sketch, other than the talent show. I really didn't like. That was probably my least favorite episode.
Gaga?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what
Yep.
was probably, I don't know, Rudd or Goodman were surprisingly dire.
Goodman's up there too with my least
I
favorite.
actually liked Goodman. I remember this being
Well,
like a huge contention between us.
I think we
'cause
know
I
why you
liked-
liked Goodman and why most of us didn't.
Was it heavy on Keenan?
I think he was in like every sketch.
Yeah, he was.
Lots
He
of
got.
bartenders that night.
I think that was like the highest scoring.
Yeah, he had a ridiculous
Like,
score
player.
that week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Brasky.
I
Bill
hate
Brasky.
Bill Brasky. Oh God,
I really
hate
like
him.
it.
Didn't they have Paul Rudd in it instead of John Goodman, even though John Goodman had been in past Bill Brasky's? I remember that being a point of talking, and that they wedged Keenan in there because he had to be in that episode.
And that they
Somebody in
didn't
the
ask
bar.
Tim Meadows because evidently Tim Meadows was really upset.
Oh right,
No.
because they got another black guy. Oh, another
How
race.
dare
related
you
sketch.
replace
Look
me
what
with
we found.
Kenan Thompson?
I think he's right to be upset that Meadows would be replaced with Kenan Thompson.
We should all be so lucky to be replaced with Kenan Thompson. Okay.
Let's take a vote. Kenan Thompson versus Tim Meadows. Best black man. Go.
I gotta go Tim Meadows.
Keenan.
I'm
not comfortable discussing this.
I'm surprised
I
that anybody
refuse
bit.
to answer this race bait question.
I'm surprised anybody bit. Resolution Revolution.
That was good.
I think
yeah,
that was like the
good.
first big Sashir thing.
I did like that one. Yeah.
Chorus, though.
She did have the chorus, but that's still like the first big Sashir thing, and it was again really good production value.
Good for you, SNL, with your production values.
Good on you, SNL. Pat on the back, SNL.
Exactly.
What was the talk show sketch that had the John Hamm cameo in it?
Cameo?
The one with, was it Nassim?
I can't remember. I just remember.
It was high schoolers, right? And
I remember Bobby
Yeah.
being the older brother sitting on the left
Yeah.
side of the room and just
Yeah.
killing it with his facial reactions every time they
Yeah.
come to him. And then John Hamm shows up and he's weirded out by being there. I don't remember what episode it was from, but I really enjoyed that sketch too.
And then the Super Bowl halftime show done by Broadway stars.
Oh yes,
I was shocked. There was a lot of like choreography and production value, and it was just a kind of a weird, simple concept that they really went all out on, and it was clear they had fun with it.
Didn't they get like? Wasn't that unpopular by
I don't think anybody picked up on it. Yeah, there wasn't much crowd reaction, but I feel like the crew and the cast just like really loved it, and they thought it was going to get a much bigger reaction.
Well, I feel like when you're from New York, you think people know Broadway more than they do because it's such a staple in New York. But nowhere else in America cares about, or I don't know, Canada cares about plays or music. Like they really don't.
They named a bunch of actors by name, and I didn't recognize any.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like New York, it's like people walk around talking about Broadway actors, and nobody else in the world cares about Broadway actors.
The Tonys get handfuls of viewers.
Yeah, you speak ill of Carol Channing.
How dare you?
They're just there to see Neil Patrick Harris.
He's dreamy.
Now, what does everyone think was maybe the best host of the season?
I gotta agree. I think with Matt said it. I gotta agree with Drake. Drake's up there.
Yeah, the more I think about that, I wonder if that was based on expectation or.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, being pleasantly surprised. But I remember we all were that was really good.
It's like with Anna Kendrick was my example, where I think she did a great job too, but I expected that. So with Drake, it's like, well, I'm not sure what to expect, and he surprised me. So I might be overvaluing him based on that, but I'll stick with Drake.
See, I had never seen. I didn't know anything about Drake, and so I was really. I would say that he was probably the best host of the season.
Yeah, Wheelchair Jimmy did a great job.
Wheelchair Jimmy
made Canada proud.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I actually enjoyed for late in the run. I liked Charlize a lot. I thought she did a really good job. Oh, and Josh Hutcherson was one of my favorite early.
That I quarrel with.
You can quarrel with him. He's on my list.
I think he was a good host.
Oh,
you don't think he was a good host?
I was reading the Vulture.
I was reading the Vulture recaps, and they made the point that Josh Hutcherson, for one, was probably coming in on Taylor Lautner expectations.
Yeah,
like we had seen Taylor Lautner, he wasn't great, and then Josh Hutcherson really was kind of up for anything.
Yeah, and it was I agree. He went against the expectation, and it was a nice, pleasant surprise.
Now. We did best host, but here's what I'm going to pitch as the best episode: Louis C.K.
Really?
I'd say the most consistent for sure.
Consistent, yeah.
Which good. I think, we didn't have any of his sketches on our list, but I feel like as an overall episode, it was like the most quotable and delightfully weird, and it just kept up a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think there was a couple in there that I remember being good, but not like on my list. That was all.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. Like, overall, there wasn't a sketch I really disliked besides Baby Boss in his episode, so I would kind of agree with that as well. Whereas other episodes, even if I really liked one skit, I was kind of like, I don't like this at all.
Leah.
Pajamas.
Shut up.
Rob, I was surprised you did not have, what was it?
Pajamas?
Private Eyes.
I was close. I was close to including it.
You just about had an orgasm over that sketch.
I loved it. Kevin's out. Hold on, Kevin dropped.
No, I'm back. Sorry.
Oh.
I think when it comes to the Louis C.K. episode, it's all about just the energy he brought to the episode. Like, he knew what he was doing for every sketch,
and he loves being there.
Yeah, and you can see that it's so genuine.
I was more excited when I thought he was going to be the musical guest as well.
That brief period in time.
He could have had his daughter from the show play violin. And then he would just storm in and go, "Shut up! That's enough!" I loved the Louis C.K. episode. I really did.
Yeah.
The more you talk about, the more right you sound.
Thank you. But then that final sketch with A.D. Bryant, where he's like confronting her at the door and telling you all about his love, but it's just all this weird
absolutely
shit.
Nuts.
I'm just a man.
I want you to be the last. I want to be the last thing you see before you go into a coma, and the first person you see when you wake up in hell.
Her reactions for that, and that was what made that one for me. She was perfect.
And then and his monologue, obviously being the strongest monologue because it was stand-up.
That was unfortunately affected by the weird mic problem that night that we got.
That's true, but that's global.
Yeah.
It's us Canadians, it barely even counts.
I heard half of it, so I was like, this isn't a bad start to the episode.
Anybody else have a best episode?
I liked the Jimmy Fallon Christmas one. I liked that. It was really fun overall.
The Sandberg episode.
Andy Samberg was good.
I really liked Ed Norton once again.
You don't sound so enthusiastic about it.
There was no
I really
episode
liked
that...
it, guys.
What did you think about... Now, other than Weekend Update, was the pest control thing Brooks Wheelan's, only starring sketch?
Golly gee, let me think.
Yeah. He had a couple of supporting roles, but yeah, nothing starring other than the update sketch bits.
Also, he played himself on Update twice and on Family Feud.
I was going to say, he played himself a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely his most popular role.
Yeah. He plays it so well.
Does he?
Yeah, he's always sweet and affable.
I've seen more convincing Brooks Wheelans.
Go down the street, I'll find you a more convincing Brooks Wheelan.
He's adorable and sweet. He's on my list of SNL impressions.
You have to stop
Such a low
using
threshold.
adorable.
Oh wait, what about E-Math? Would we consider him the lead for E-Math?
I thought that was a strong commercial to open the season.
Oh yeah,
but that was him starring, right?
Oh, was that Brooks? Oh yeah, he had nudity right out the gate.
Yeah,
Russell was shocked.
Yeah, that's when we thought he was going to be a point cash cow.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
But
they had 3 Jesse Pinkman sketches in that episode.
Yeah, but E-Meth and CNN pregnancy test were probably my favorite ads.
CNN pregnancy test was very good. Yes.
Bird Bible.
Yeah, Bird Bible.
Oh, that's true. That's an ad. That counts as an ad. But it was really late in the show, so I considered in my head it was a different kind of sketch.
What other ads did they do? All I ever remember is them doing
the 24-hour energy
douche commercials.
24-hour energy. The pumpkin spice douche.
Ugh.
The
last minute Valentine's Day gifts.
Oh, I
liked that one.
But that was a redo of one from 5 years ago. I will not stop banging this drum.
You
hashtag
teddy bear with a heart. Teddy bear with a heart. Google it.
Hashtag it.
Yeah, I remember the one you're talking about.
Hashtag cancel the Valentine sketch.
I have both those sketches blended together in my head where
exactly.
Yeah, I know. So I know what you mean.
I hear you, bro.
I'm there
I like this male solidarity between you two. Practically fist bumping through your microphone.
Hashtag cancel deep thoughts.
Do we have a worst episode?
Worst
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Worst
Hands
host.
down. Come on.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Is that a pain of she should have been better, or a pain of trying to think of something worse?
There was no standout episodes this year, and there's none that I remember being truly dire. There was nothing. It was almost every episode was there was fine. There was nothing that really peaked or valleyed all that much in my mind.
Well, I think we're a more positive group about SNL than maybe most of the press and online, but I
really,
feel
I worry that we're exceedingly negative.
No.
It's just when we're negative, we're really negative.
Yeah, but
stuff you have to cut out negative.
But I think we all agree it was a transition year and all that junk that the press keeps saying, and obviously there's going to be we need some cuts to the cast. As much as we all maybe like them on not a personal level, but we like them.
No, it's a personal level.
We
Friends
like
of the
them
show.
individually.
It's the show.
It's 18 people now, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got to trim that one up pretty quick.
8 new cast members this year, if you include Jost.
Versus 9 normal cast.
6 plus Zameda plus Jost, and I'm only separating them because of when they were added, not because of race.
Well, Jost is white, right?
Ghostly white, yeah.
Yeah, I put together I decided to rank the main cast from 1 through 9, and then I decided that it would look pretty racist if I read it out loud, so I'm going to keep that one to myself.
Read it out loud.
No, you're being number 1?
That's I did it separately where the main cast and the new additions, I ranked them 1 through.
I thought you were about to say you did it
I thought he was
separately,
going to say
Separate but equal.
Separate but equul. Separate but
main and the colored cast.
I have a ranked white featured players list and a ranked black featured players list.
Oh, this whole episode.
And then the miscellaneous just has Nazim on it.
Oh no,
the Asian category.
Asian, etc.
Let's stop.
I will say I had Sashir ranked 4 out of 8 of the new people. So
Really? Who's
Yeah.
ahead?
I had Bennett, Mooney, and O'Brien ahead of her.
You had O'Brien ahead of Zameda?
When he got a chance, it was usually weird, and it was usually a good kind of weird.
Yes.
No, I thought we were a general agreement at least midway through the year was that he was like weirdly nervous during live sketches.
Live
sorry?
sketches, yes, and he doesn't belong there. But in the digital stuff,
I thought we were
He's
allowed
great.
to.
True, he's so good as like the little tech guy for Nassim.
I thought we were allowed to have our own opinions, Rob.
he was
thought
the
you
old
thought-
in the
you thought he-
that's a rap sketch. So
You thought he brought as much enthusiasm and energy as Sashir in live sketches.
no, God no. But Sashir.
No, I'm talking to Brian. I want
Oh.
Brian to answer me.
No, I agree. He's better in the digital stuff, and I think he adds a lot as a writer too.
Okay.
Am I
Michael
together?
Bryan forever.
Michael Bryan forever. I may
I
even
love
draft
him.
him again next year. Who knows?
I'm
when
gonna
I'll
draft him again next year. You know
People
what?
are all right. So
It won't
Brian and
matter.
Leah are out of the
I
running
do
for
read
next
the
year.
paper.
Hey,
Brian and
I
Leah are out of the running.
think Matt agreed, or Matt suggested that if it hadn't been for host picks, which was a late addition to the whole idea, and the musical guest song choice picks, I probably would have won.
So if you took out like all of the point scoring factors, you probably would have won.
No, if you went by the original idea, which is just the points by cast, not the extra stuff, then I would have won on that because
Well, look,
Russell
if
and Matt
we-
got up there because they had hosts.
If we had
Matt.
removed Jay Farrow as a contestant, and we had removed the opening sketch from the show, and we had removed digital shorts, and we had removed most of the show entirely, then it could have been anyone's game, really.
If ifs and
I
buts
was a
were
truther.
candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
If we had removed Brian Edwards from this podcast, it would have to the top 10 of iTunes.
Really, we can't know for sure. It's all hypothetical. History will decide.
Matt, what number did you draft?
I got the sandwich spot, so I was 5 and 6.
You got
Okay.
Cecily and Kate.
Were the two people I wanted really going
Yeah.
in, so I was surprised that they were
curious
both
to know
there
how
at 5
draft
and
order
6.
affected final rate.
Oh,
final rank.
draft order totally fucked me.
Which one? Where did you draft?
I was one. I was the first person, but then I was the last person, right? So
Yeah, because I think there's kind of like, is it fair to say that there's like a group of cast members who were all really coveted, and then a clear, like the last 3
Yeah.
people or so who were not wanted at all? So the people who
Dreads.
the people who were closer to the middle got like solid cast members all around, and the people on the first and last.
Yeah, I got my second and third choices, Cecily and Kate. Tara was the only one that got taken before.
I got lucky that what I thought was a dud, which was 80, came in pretty well.
Yeah, she did quite well.
I enjoy her.
Yep.
She's
I had her
funny.
ranked 4th on my list of cast members.
Oh, we're filling in the gaps now.
in the Lost podcast, that the very first one that we did that I don't think was ever like uploaded or anything.
Test for Fallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had quite strong feelings about 80 Bryant, and I'm glad that it didn't.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Listeners, stay tuned to the end of this episode for an excerpt from the test episode.
Because I was wrong. I'm a big enough person to admit that I was wrong about 80 Bryant.
They'll be on the Best of Leah podcast special over the summer.
Let's talk MVP then. I thought, so, 80 Bryant I thought had the breakout year. I think Kate McKinnon was probably the breakout last year. And then either Kate or Taryn were the MVPs. Taryn was kind of the quiet MVP. Kate was like the louder MVP.
I had
I'd
Kate
agree.
1 and Taryn 2.
Yep, I agree.
I think
For-
Killam was
for
running
drafting
away
or
with it
for
near the end.
MVP?
Sort of petered out.
You had Kate number 1 and Taryn number 2 as the MVPs, or for draft?
Oh, for his MVPs.
Oh, because you drafted Cecily. No.
I had her
But
number 3.
Okay. Yeah. But, I don't know. What does everybody else think?
I agree. I agree
agree.
that 80 was a nice surprise, too. When she got the befuddled, put-upon woman kind of role nailed down, then she really ran away with it.
Was it Vulture, though, who said, like, she actually kind of has 2 different modes, which really serves her well. She's either the straight woman who's really put upon, and that's funny, or she is the inappropriately aroused one.
Yeah, yes. Like in
Those two.
what was it, Confident Viking? What was that Sandberg character?
Confident Hunchback?
Hunchback, that's it.
Yeah, it's Hunchback.
Viking.
Which, by the way, I believe is technically a recurring character, because I watched the old Les Jeunes de Paris sketches today, and he shows up as the Hunchback of Notre Dame in 2 of them.
Oh!
Does he?
Yes.
This could change everything.
This changes
and put Matt
everything.
even further.
If I had lost by like 5 points, the fury that would have run through my body.
But was the Jeune de Paris Hunchback very confident?
I think you show up on the dance floor, you got to have some belief in yourself.
He's got to have some moves.
I think it would have to go to Russell for judgment, which would have been very interesting.
Especially if it was 5-point difference.
Conflict of interest. We need a voting board next year to figure out disputes. What do we think for featured? Who won the featureds?
Sashir.
I think that's kind of fair. Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, what was her memorable role? Like, late in the year, she got, like, the Solange, and she got...
Did any featured cast members have a memorable role besides Baby Boss? And besides being in Good Neighbors shorts?
Yeah, I think their claim to fame was definitely Good Neighbors as the big addition.
Brooks had a breakout role playing Brooks quite a few times.
I thought Noah Wells had a great Allison Hannigan, so...
Shut up.
No, you didn't.
Really? Like, that's the definitive Allison Hannigan impression out there now.
Just ruined her birthday.
Aww.
Your Allison Hannigan sucks. Happy birthday, Noelle.
That was Russell. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was Russell. I forgot that
I was the one who said, no, don't do that.
Oh, man. But she had a solid Lena Dunham.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
she did.
good.
Yes.
She had a great first half of the
good.
year. She had a great first half of the year, and then petered out in the second half.
But that's what I thought about Cecily and Vanessa as well.
I think Vanessa is pretty consistent.
Everyone keeps arguing me on this. I
Vanessa
swear
disappeared. She was
Thank you.
She was huge in the first couple of episodes. The Miley
Points-wise,
Cyrus
especially,
episode, the Josh Hutcherson episode, and then she just. I don't know how you guys are arguing about this. She disappeared.
I can see if people disagree with me that Cecily kind of. I thought Cecily kind of disappeared, or I guess maybe she shifted from a lot of supporting roles to a few starring roles per episode. But
I'd agree with that.
Vanessa disappeared.
I don't agree.
I don't understand how you disagree.
I don't understand.
It's partly that I want to, because you seem so upset that people are disagreeing, but partly agree. I don't remember much from the beginning of the year where she was like sticking out.
That's why she wasn't in the second half of the year, because nobody cared that she was in the first half of the year.
I always like Vanessa.
No, she's awful.
No, I do like her.
She absolutely disappeared.
Yay!
Yay!
You have to side with Saad.
Yeah.
Siding with Saad. A
Siding
new
with
podcast
Saad.
coming this summer.
You're not invited to Jacob's bar mitzvah.
Okay, apparently Saad and I sound the same.
I was going to say, that was
just-
Kevin.
I'm so sorry.
That wasn't
I'm so
Saad.
sorry, Kevin. But siding with Kevin doesn't have the...
No, it doesn't.
it doesn't
Should have just get your mouth shut.
The
The
ring.
side podcast. Gonna pretend to be Saad for a whole podcast.
I am so sorry. But
corroborating with Kevin?
Saad didn't say anything. I'm thinking Saad left. Is Saad still here?
Oh, I'm here. I'm just quietly listening to you guys tear each other apart.
Okay, because I was like, well, if Saad
Last
didn't
minute.
say anything, because I was like, that's Kevin talking. And then Saad didn't say, that's not me. And so I was like, okay, maybe that was Saad.
do we want to go through... All right, should we transition into news?
No.
And part of that would be Up Rocks put up, I think just before the finale, their odds of whether or not people are leaving.
Yeah, they were way too harsh.
A little bit.
Way harsh.
But we've probably been harsher than that already, so we might as well go with it.
Well, all right. So,
But haven't we already said who's... I guess I've, like, the last 3 episodes, I've said every single time who I think is leaving.
I think we kind of agreed that Brooks, John Milheiser, and probably Noelle are gone from feature.
I don't know about Brooks.
Brooks
I would kind of like for Brooks to return.
I want them all to stay.
No, shut up, Brian.
But then Nassim's probably gone to do Mulaney.
Yeah.
And I could
done.
see maybe Bayer leaving.
Bayer, how are you still not getting this?
I don't know.
It's said out loud every week in the intros.
Pardo has a weird
Oh,
voice. If I pronounced it like Pardo pronounced it, then I would be doing that voice every week.
Bayer.
She's not on the show anymore. It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
I think she stays. I don't know where she's going.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but she's kind of fallen
said
to an
she's
Abby.
gone.
She's kind of fallen to an Abby Elliott level at this point.
Yeah, but Abby left for a sitcom thing that didn't pan out. I don't think Vanessa has one of those in the work.
Up rocks really quickly. Kate McKinnon, 100-1 that she's leaving. Or she's staying.
She's staying.
How do odds work?
She's staying for sure.
100-1 would mean that it's just very unlikely that she's leaving.
Okay, Vanessa Bayer,
There.
30-1. Bryant, 40-1. Killam, 100-1. McKinnon.
Wait, stop! You're
100
going
to
too
1.
fast. I can't
No, I
process.
said we're gonna go
Be
really
100
quick.
to 1.
We're gonna go really quick.
And then,
Moynihan 21, Pedrad 1-1, Farrow 40-1, Strong 100-1, Keenan 8-1, Bennett 20-1, Jost 10-1, Millheiser 2-1, Mooney 10-1, Mike O'Brien 15-1, Noah Wells 3-1, Brooks Whelan 2-1, Sashir Zameda 40-1.
The shear's too low.
So discuss those numbers that we all have to remember now, guys.
Yeah.
Did
I
any
think
leap out at people?
Mooney's much more likely to stay than they think.
2-1
Yep.
from Millheiser sounded high.
Yeah.
You think it's 1-1?
What's
No,
lower
I
than
think,
that?
I think
6 to 5, something like that.
1-2?
I
Oh,
think
no,
all
let's-
of those
let's-
sound exceedingly low.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, how do you go from they have one cast member that's guaranteed to stay, and then it completely dropped down to like 40%? Like that's.
I think most of the main cast are staying. I'd say 1 or 2 maybe are leaving. I think it's the new cast that are the ones the most in danger. I don't think anyone in the main cast except maybe Nassim is leaving. Maybe Vanessa.
I think Nassim's going. I
I
think
wish
Vanessa and
Keenan-
Keenan could go.
I wish
You
Keenan
think
was-
Keenan's gonna go? Keenan has a kid. He's got people to support. He's got a baby. He has to put food in its mouth. He's not
Doesn't he have
going
Keenan
anywhere.
and Kel syndication money. Maybe
Residuals.
Fat Albert 2
Hell
is coming
money.
along.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe Fat Albert 2 is coming along.
Some game show hosting vacancies got to open up before Keenan.
Yeah.
Show.
He could literally be the next Steve Harvey.
Racist.
Just hosting shows.
Same wardrobe.
Yeah, I think they're too low.
I think they're too low.
You guys remember them all?
I
A
don't
lot
know.
of
Tens,
ones. A lot of
what-
ones.
Was it like Bobby 30 or 41? No, he's staying for sure. There's no way Bobby Moynihan's going.
I mean, Keenan at 8-1. Come on, there's an 8% chance Keenan's.
I don't think that's how it works.
No, it's not, but she just dropped out. She was so incensed about Keenan.
She locked herself out. Well, what do you guys think?
Hey, my call dropped out there for a second. Did anybody explain to Leah that 8-1 does not mean 8%?
We literally just said
I dropped
she's
out
back.
as well.
she's back. Yeah, 8-1 does not mean an 8% chance he's leaving.
What is 8-1 then?
Because then all the 100-1s mean the 100% chance to
If you
leave.
It means if you've bet $1,
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
eight.
$8 if she leaves.
There's a 12.5%
Wait,
chance
so
to
what's
leave.
100 to 1? So
Yeah,
you get
100%
$100
Because
if.
it's so
But
unlikely
that's
that you get the most
100%
money.
chance, right?
No.
No!
Not percentage.
Have you never
It's
heard
money.
of a... So when you've heard the term 1,000,000 to 1 before, you thought that was 1,000,000%?
Leah just broke her alliance with.
Was that Saad? How could
Throwing
you?
you under the bus.
I realized halfway through my sentence it might have been Kevin.
God, you son of a
No,
bitch.
it wasn't me.
Boy.
It was Kevin.
Can we all
Oh
just
my God.
take on accents so that we can tell each other apart?
Okay, between
British?
Saad and I, I've been told I've got a slight British accent.
Or just watch your screen, jerks. It has literally the people speaking on your screen.
Who said
That's
that?
what that is.
I can't explain why, but I'm unable to look at my screen while I'm recording.
At no
Pornography.
point during this podcast have I ever been confused about who is talking. I don't know what your problems are, guys.
Matt, you kind of can be anybody else talking. You're the one I have a hard time picking out.
He's the
I think
easiest.
Matt's voice is the most distinct,
Yep.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Yep.
and also Rob's. Only
And that
because
includes
loudest.
Leah as a female voice. Matt's voice is more distinct than female.
The female.
Yeah.
Should my feelings be hurt?
I don't know.
No, this
No,
is
you're-
on your resume.
You're unique. You could be a voice actor.
Unique voice.
Not according to the one female in the room who can't tell you apart from.
Because I'm
Your
a
voice
chameleon.
melds
I'm a man of
in-
1,000 voices.
It's a character actor.
Cheerio. That was one of them.
But,
British
yeah.
person just arrived?
Keep going more. You said you had 1,000. Let's go.
Hello,
1,000
what's
of
all this podcasting business then?
Did another
Benedict
British person just
Cumberbatch is
arrive?
here.
Different part of it. Law.
What was that?
I want to suck your podcast.
them. Oh no.
Oh, no.
It's getting too late.
No,
It's getting
no,
way too
no,
late.
no.
All right,
Too
shall we?
real.
Is there any other thoughts on the season as a whole, or going into next season? Not on the league, but of SNL.
I
Fair.
really enjoyed the season overall. This is one of the more enjoyable ones for me. I think part of it was just the fun of playing along and watching it, but overall I
Stakes.
enjoyed it.
Having stakes in it.
Exactly. Stakes helped, but I really liked it. It was a fun season.
I think that helped. That affected my enjoyment of a lot of sketches, worrying about points that were involved. And there were certain ones I look back on, like, yeah, that actually was quite funny. But at the time, I was just pissed off that Bobby Moynihan was in it or something. So,
If anything, this season makes me excited to see what the next one's
Me
going
too.
to be.
Yeah. I'm more excited for next year because of this.
Yeah. Just to see how everybody gels together and everybody taking their own sort of...
See if that 8% chance of Keenan leaving pays off.
Fuck off, Brian.
Go to the bank with it. You can go to the bank.
I'd like to bet 8% on Keenan Thompson leaving.
Contact your bookie today.
it's sad that part of the excitement is wondering who's going to be fired over the summer.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to get fired. It's going to happen, of course, but...
Is there any chance they hire somebody new for next year, you think?
No.
No, it's
Not unless it's a real bloodbath, like 5
Do we think-
people
now,
go and
Colin-
they hire 1 or 2.
You didn't say Colin, so Colin's not in the running for this little percentage
No,
points.
They had
Colin
10
was
to
mentioned.
1. They had 10 to 1 that he would come back as.
So 10% he's coming back?
Weekend update.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got that one. She got that one. No, she was right.
Hey!
It's funny you said hey.
Brian
Your photo
Groen
totally
heard
looks
that,
like you
so
would be
he
saying
doesn't know
hey.
math.
Oh,
What do we think of the writing in general
Yeah.
under Jost?
Yeah.
No.
I think this is more the feelings for Jost than it is the writing. No?
I think
So
that's-
we're all
Second
big on.
season.
What we're saying is we're big on the cast, but we're not big on the writing.
yeah.
For a while,
I thought this
think.
year was weirder than usual.
I think
that's a lot of the new blood involved, too.
Yeah.
I think they
Kevin-
let guys like Mooney and O'Brien have their digital shorts and let them have their own sort of creative control over that. But then there's the live. Like, I don't know how the writing room works. I don't know what Jost oversees, whether he gets say on what goes on in each independent digital short and or what's on air and everything. But it seems like the weird stuff is saved for that. So I don't know if you give credit to them or give credit to the writing staff as a whole.
There were still a number of decent. I feel like more often than not, the final 30 minutes of the show, like almost everything post update, was closer to what we used to call the 10 to 1 weirdness.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the back half of the show was definitely up to weird. Especially the last half or so, or quarter of the season, I thought, got weirder from more of the show.
I would have opened with exploding whales, but
The whole, I think most of the Louis episode was pretty much a 10 to 1 sketch.
Yeah. Well, he had time on the Dana Carvey show.
Training ground, if there ever was one.
what was everybody's favorite musical guest?
Boo.
The one with the guitar.
But still, no, Monet.
No. Yes, that's the correct one.
Yeah, Monet was pretty awesome.
Was anybody especially memorable as a musical guest?
Drake was good. Drake did a cool thing where he combined the
I think
songs
Saint-
and had cool lighting and all that.
Drake
St.
performed.
Vincent, I think, for a whole stage setup was very interesting to
Oh,
watch.
yeah, St. Vincent, I would say, as far as other than Arcade fucking Fire, who was up their own goddamn ass. I thought St. Vincent was really interesting.
Did any of you watch that half-hour SNL special with Arcade Fire that aired after the premiere? That was
No.
like,
Yes.
I watched that, yeah.
Oh, God, shampoo my crotch. I'm not watching that.
I enjoyed it.
What?
Where are you getting
Something
these
where
expressions?
Expression.
Is this an expression?
Yeah.
What are they teaching you in Washington, D.C.?
I think I might be the only person who uses that. Me and Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson.
No, wait.
uses that
Who's
expression.
talking right now?
Oh, it's Leah.
Saad.
Oh, okay.
How am I the, go-to?
You come to the show late, kid, you get picked on.
It'll be Kevin's turn next week.
Yeah, exactly.
What's next week?
Kevin's turn in the barrel.
Corroborating with Kevin, that's the name of it.
You're going to discuss...
Wait, why does Saad and Kevin both get a spin-off? And
You've got yours.
What's mine?
Is it time to
You're
plug the
Keenan
OC
Keenan.
podcast?
Yeah,
Keenan?
Yeah,
My name's not even in that!
That's all you. Literally, no one else is on that podcast.
Keenan with Kia.
Yeah.
Am I a car? No,
KKK for short.
I like it.
That could never go wrong.
Top 10 iTunes.
Cancel Deep Thoughts.
We're getting a lot of hits in the Deep South.
Cancel KKK.
Cancel KKK.
Yeah, do we want to talk at all about, there was really no news for the last 2 weeks. I kind of used, the season finale as a stall tactic, to push the news segment to this week, but,
Bill Hader's HBO show, did that already come up?
Oh yeah, Bill Hader has an HBO show. We know nothing about it except that he's creating it and starring in it.
And I think we're all extremely excited for. No?
Absolutely.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
You should call it Haters Gonna Hate. There you go.
Yeah.
It writes itself.
Here's something I remember.
No, someone else wrote that many times already.
Well, when he was on, remember how do the Roots still do it on the Tonight Show where they like play a song that's usually a play on the person's name or like a reference
they
to
don't do
deep
that
work?
anymore.
Not since Michelle Bachman had a problem with it.
Oh, that was one of
Yeah,
my
because
favorites.
they
They
played She's a
don't?
Bitch or something.
Yeah, I had trouble for that, didn't
Because one of my favorites was they played Hi Hater when Bill Hader was on. Like, Hi Hater, you see me, Hi Hater. Nobody knows
That's
this
a great
song.
I
story.
just wanted you to keep going.
Great
Yeah,
story.
keep going. First
Somebody give him a
I'll
beat.
tag it on the end. Fuck you guys. Do we want to talk about Benjamin Franklin?
I didn't watch
No.
it.
Did anybody watch it?
I did.
I did.
What?
It was. You know what it made me miss? More so than it made me miss Will Forte's weirdness, it made me miss Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, it made me
Yeah.
miss Jason Sudeikis.
He was
as well.
so into it and like just an energy that he brings. I didn't know I missed it until I saw it here.
That's
Where
sweet.
He just has a charm and he's laughing. And
He
like,
does. He's
I-
sexy, isn't
for
he?
he's
I
just
agree.
like laughing and going like bring it on with all this weirdness.
I had high hopes for him and Liz Lemon.
I did too. I was so
Floyd?
upset him
I
and
was-
Liz Lemon didn't end up
Yes,
together.
I was pissed when they brought back Floyd and just rewrote him to be an asshole out of nowhere.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of like
Out of
Louis
nowhere.
C.K. on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that too. They bring back the best boyfriend and then they write them as an asshole to make you stop caring.
And when Jimmy
Like they
Cooper
went-
showed up again on the OC and he was
Oh,
a total
no.
dickbag? Come on.
Yeah. Fuck
Save it
Jimmy
for
Cooper.
the other podcast.
Saad, I hope you're taking notes.
Newport Forever coming soon.
There you go. On the Trivia Club Network, an OC podcast.
I'm glad you're hitting these shows in the height of their popularity.
Yeah, very timely.
OC
Topical.
disorder?
It's
We call
all
it that?
very topical.
OC disorder.
Who wants to be on my I Love Lucy podcast?
No.
No.
Wow, that was a strong no.
Who
I
wants
was
to
just
be on
making a
my
play the name.
I Love Lucy podcast where we talk about the I Love Lucy podcast?
I'm on that for sure.
I feel like that's a misnomer because it's going to be a podcast about how you dislike the podcast.
I love it though. I did not. I was not
might
one
have
of
meant misnomer instead of misnomer.
You did
Yeah.
miss misnomer.
Guys,
Miss
I was
Nomer,
just gonna let
can I go to the
internet
bathroom?
judge you. No. You hold it.
Mean
late.
misnomer.
Anybody see the trailers for the new Casey Wilson TV show?
I did.
Oh,
That's good.
No, what's that about?
It
Was
is-
my thing right?
You're actually from the trailer. It was very It did not look like the premise you named at all.
Oh.
It just so the premise is
So I
that
still got a chance.
the premise is that she, at least in the pilot, she and Ken Marino are trying to get engaged, and they keep on like proposing to each other, and then terrible, calamitous things happen.
Ruining
that,
the engagement story.
Yeah, so ruining the engagement story and making her anxious that it's like signs from the universe that they should not get married.
So basically 1/6 of an episode of Happy Endings.
Yes, because it's from the creator of Happy Endings.
Yes.
I.e. Mr. Casey Wilson.
Yes,
you know, is David
Mine
Caspy-
sounds way better.
that is David Caspy.
is he involved with the new show?
Yeah,
He's
he's
creating
the
it
Intimately.
creator.
Okay, yeah, I'm in 100% then for sure.
I feel I don't know.
So 100 to 1?
I'm gonna.
Oh.
I feel like
I'm
the
gonna-
writers of Happy Endings took Happy Endings into the direction it did, not the creator necessarily. Because he wrote the
I think he's
pilot,
quite
and the pilot was
involved.
meh.
I'm gonna
He's quite
pass.
involved.
And then, but what looks most interesting, also another show that kind of like Casey Wilson's show, I'm not sure how they extend it into more than just a pilot or a first season, is Will Forte's show, The Last Man on Earth, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it should be a miniseries, right?
A comedy miniseries on network TV. I'd like to see it.
Is the plan for it to literally be The Last Man on Earth?
It can't possibly be, right? They can't do 22 episodes.
Will there be women too, and that's the loophole?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, that's what I'm thinking as well, but I've watched
Why the
all
Last
of
Man?
these.
Yeah, it's just a ripoff of Why the Last Man.
But
And Will Forte, I'm in.
Which, Why the Last Man was insanely sexist, and I would not support a television show being made out of that. But
ignoring that, because we have a comics podcast coming out this summer that Leah can be on. But Phil Lord and Chris Miller directed the pilot.
Yeah,
it looks really good. I just can't imagine how it's supposed to be sustained through.
Well, actually, Fox has been saying that they're in part of their getting rid of pilot season. They're only ordering 18 episodes of Mindy Project, 13 episodes of other shows. So maybe it's a short order for season.
Yeah.
16 episodes of Mulaney. That's weird.
How many?
16.
Really?
I think they're spreading them out through the spring, summer. There's going to be no summer season like they used to.
I need more Mindy. 18
12 months a year.
episodes. That
Are
makes me so
New Girl and
upset.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine still getting the same seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine Sundays now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
I
building
have so
live
many
action
shows on
comedy block.
Sundays, though. This is not going to work out for me.
Don't worry, Mad Men's almost over.
No, but I got Silicon Valley, got Veep. This just doesn't...
Too many
Throne
good
game?
things.
Too many good things on Sundays.
But we'll see how it goes. We'll probably talk about it on the first
Then
episode back next year. the Will Forte thing.
Yeah.
Oh, half of us will be dead.
No.
Which half? Whoa.
Whoa, is
tell
that
us.
a threat? I feel
They
like
didn't
that
tell
was
us. It's a
threat.
documentary from the future. We're all dead.
101 odds on me.
All right.
like
Well,
those
with
odds.
that, I
thinking
want to
8
say I think thank you everybody for being here. It was a good season. We'll probably do some filler episodes over the summer. We don't know what kind, but I want to thank everybody for being here almost every week for the last few months.
Thanks for hosting.
For doing this,
Thank
Rob.
you, Rob.
Good at this.
I do it all for the praise. All right.
Clip show
Now
over
edit
the
this
summer.
into a tight 20 minutes.
God. Oh, the
Number
editing.
one.
All right. So we'll go. I'll name people, and you can say where people can reach you on Twitter and stuff. Which Leah, we know you have. Leah, go.
I'm at Leah Sueko.
Well done for once, Brian.
Coconut Phone 77 on Twitter.
Matt.
I write for the Pop Candy blog on the Washington Post, and you can find me at @HickoryWhat on Twitter.
One of those is a lie. Kevin.
Oh, I'm in Montreal right now, so if you're in the area, for the next 2 days.
I'm in Dorval.
Otherwise, Kevin Morgan on Twitter. 2 underscores. Some guy got the other one.
Bastard.
That fucking asshole.
And Saad.
I'm not a frequent user of Twitter, but during the summer we will be launching more podcasts. So hopefully you'll be hearing myself and many of the other co-hosts you hear today.
All right. And I'm at Rob Exists. And then follow Deep Thoughts SNL on Twitter for any news that breaks over the summer. But it'll probably be a little quieter. But maybe we'll also link to the new Trivia Club podcast in case people are fans of the OC or Felicity or whatever other shows we were talking about. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye,
All right,
Simon.
thanks again.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Leah!
That was me, Leah.
100 to 1.
Hustle hard, stack paper, it's alright. Y'all haters,